Hi, welcome. We're working today with one of LD Larry's clients who has had a fabulous experience with his work, and she's willing to share with us what she experienced, which is quite remarkable. So, hello, welcome to our
Hello.
interview.
Thank you for having me.
And she's come all the way from the East Coast to be here locally, although Larry does not work locally. He works from a distance, and that's how she received her work.
That is correct.
Yeah, from a distance. Was it on the phone or was it on
Yes,
Zoom?
over the phone. Yes.
Okay.
He didn't want to even see my face. So he's first time I met him, he even asked me not to send him my photo of my face.
Yeah, which is interesting. It's some people work with photos, some people work in person.
Yes, yes. I was very surprised.
Yeah, we have a very unique person here. So tell us, how did you first discover Larry?
Okay, so I found Larry's through an internet search in spring last year, so April last year, while I was looking for a healer to help with my cancer diagnosis. So I had been searching for healers for quite some time, but somehow Larry's name did not come up until that time. And if I think back, I believe that something within myself probably needed to be ready for receiving his work.
Wonderful. Yeah, things seem to happen at the right time, don't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Can you give us a little bit of background about your cancer and maybe some of the different ways that you were treating it at the
Yeah,
time?
sure. So, I was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. I had a traditional treatment, so I had a surgery. I didn't have chemo, but I had a surgery that didn't really work well. On the surface, it worked well right after the surgery, but the cancer had spread. So by the time I met Larry, my situation was quite severe. And then it had metastasized to my lungs, both side of lungs, my bones, and I also had pains on my left side and on the arm. That's where the surgery was. Also the numbness in there. So it was like that. So I had some traditional treatment. And I had an oncologist. I still do have an oncologist, and so that was the a traditional treatment side. I was looking for alternative on top of my traditional treatment.
Then, what type of alternative treatments were you adding to your traditional medical work?
I actually did a lot. Of course, a lot of supplements that I took. I had a different healer I worked with before I came to Larry. I had a energetic type of work by myself, as well as the other practitioners who were doing it. So I had a whole bunch of different alternative treatment on top of the traditional medical ones.
And you worked with a different healer before Larry, a distance
Yeah,
healer?
yeah, yeah. So unfortunately nothing worked well. Especially the one right before I came to Larry. He's very famous, very specialized in those cancer or any severe type of illness treatment. He has a very extensive experience. So I went to him and I started working with him. But the experience I had with him was very unpleasant, unfortunately. he was very arrogant and often threatened me and told me not to question his methods, claiming that he could control the outcomes, which left me feeling very, very scared. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure there are many people who feel the same way, but there are so many so-called healers and doctors who are taking advantage of people like me who faced death and became very desperate. And we want to do anything and everything. And then unfortunately, there are people there who are taking advantage of that. So that was the experience I had. And then I wanted to be out of that and then started looking for a different healer. That's when Larry's name came up. I contacted him. And luckily, Larry is a complete opposite side. And I asked him in the beginning, like, okay, so if we decide to work together, how many months in advance that I need to commit, I need to pay, what is the protocol? And he said, oh, no, 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 no. I don't want you to commit anything long because I don't want to commit anything long either. We need to just see how things go. So let's just take it, like a 3 days, for example, at a time, and then see how you progress. If you commit, let's say for 3 months, and then what if like you don't need for 3 months and then completely fine within a week? And then so I don't want to commit to any of that long term, and then I don't want you to commit any of that long term. So that was a huge relief for me that wow, something is very reasonable. Someone is very reasonable, and really trying to help how I progress. So that's when I started um, trusting him to say, okay, I really do want to work with you if you could help me.
Now, that's interesting. Trust does need to be earned, it seems.
Yeah.
It sounds like the other experience was disempowering, where now you are with somebody that is more humble and is working to empower you as a person. That
Yes, Larry is very humble and probably the most humble um healer. I don't know if he likes to be called a healer, but the most humble healer that I've ever met and worked with.
And it sounds like he's flexible to your needs. He's been doing what you need. So you didn't just start out with one treatment for 1 hour and then progress. He would take you through what he felt the time was needed and the energy expended was needed at each step along the way. Is that
Yes,
correct?
yes, yes, absolutely. He was very flexible. He is still flexible. I'm still working with him, but he's always flexible. And sometimes he sees something that I need intensive sessions. Then he's more than happy to spend, 1 hour or multiple times a day. Sometimes he sees that, okay, so if I spend more time with you, then your body may not catch up. So let's just take it slow. Or sometimes that he said, like, okay, I don't see anything. And so let's take a break. So he's very flexible depending on what my situation is and then what my healing journey is. And he just tailors the way he treats me. So that's also very unique, very unique.
Okay. And through this time working with Larry, you were also working with your oncologist. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. I am still working with both oncologist and Larry. I'm still on the medication, and that medication has whole bunch of side effects. So Larry is working with me to remove those side effects because some of the side effects are very severe, like brain fog. I even have had a difficulty of breathing one time. So very strong medication I'm still on. So he's really helping me to remove those severe side effects.
Wonderful. So, how are you feeling now? How do you know that this work has been helpful and that's doing something?
It's so now, yeah, I should definitely tell how my journey has been, right? So, as I said, first time I met Larry, my cancer was metastasized to multiple areas of my organ and bones. Now I'm cancer free. So I feel wonderful. I'm in perfect position. I work full time. I even do almost like a regular workout. I travel. I'm just enjoying my life at the moment. So to get to that stage, it was around a bit less than 4 months. So I met Larry at the end of April last year. May scan showed the the cancer was spread into multiple areas. It was really bad. He started working on me. The next scan in September last year showed that most of the areas was resolved completely. And then just the remaining areas, no active diseases. January this year scan again showed that actually nothing is active. And then even the remaining area that we saw in September were resolved. So I'm now cancer free and feeling great.
That's wonderful. Such miraculous results. So, I'm assuming that your oncologist has told you that you are in remission and has taken the necessary tests. Is that correct?
They would never call it remission. Um, because stage 4 for them is incurable. And I'm still on the medication. So how my oncologist described my situation is that I don't have any active diseases because of the medication. So the medication is working perfectly. She says that I'm an A plus student for her. This medication is working wonderfully. She does not know that I'm working with Larry. So for her, this is all about medication. For me, I know what really worked on my case and what really helped for me to get into remission. For me, it's a complete remission. For her, my oncologist, she cannot call it as a remission.
That's interesting. I didn't realize that that some oncologists would not want to name it or say that it was in remission. I was with a friend yesterday who went to her oncologist. Was it an oncologist? No, it was her heart specialist. And
Mhm.
after all those years of stage 4 congestive heart failure, she was given a clean bill of sale. I don't know if her doctor told her she was in remission or she just said, she said, you don't have it anymore. And she, yeah,
Yeah,
so
I
very
think I think
interesting.
that's close to that she could say. Like, okay, you don't have any active diseases from the scan, but she doesn't want to call it remission. She insists that this is because of the medication that I'm taking.
Mhm.
So if I stop taking the medication, she thinks that it would come back. For me, that is not the case.
Yeah, thanks for clarifying that. It's interesting how our mind hearts work. It's good
Yeah,
for you to believe and know that this is behind you. So,
yes, absolutely.
congratulations on doing that work for
Thank
yourself.
you. Thank
The
you.
trust
This is
sometimes is the hard part.
Yes, yes, absolutely. It was hard. It was hard. The September scan last year, um, I was in shock. I didn't really think that it would be that good. And then, of course, oncologist, oncology nurse, they couldn't believe it because they had never seen this quick and then this result. They did tell me in the beginning that the medication that they wanted me to take would take a little while. So I need to be patient. The best they could hope for is a bit of reduction or a reduction in size of the tumor or the area. That's pretty much it. But they told me that maybe, if there is no progression, then we need to take it as a very positive. So when the September came, because May scan was really bad, then the September scan basically showed that most of the areas were gone, completely gone. So they were like, wow, this is probably the best we have ever seen.
It's interesting. Everybody's got their own belief systems, and of course, the medical professionals have been trained in a certain way
Yes.
of thinking
Yes.
and working. I can't tell you how many doctors over the years that I've been in alternative or uh, untraditional, sometimes traditional medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, sometimes.
Yes.
How many times the doctors say, well, the tests must have been wrong because they show this now, and that just can't be. So,
Yeah. I agree. One time, I got a call from my oncologist, and one of the scans, actually May scan, showed that I had moving blood clots in the body.
oh,
So she called me, and then, okay, you need to go to the emergency room, like right now, drop everything and just go. Take taxi. I already called the emergency room, so they're waiting for you. Just go. And so you need to get an injection. Otherwise, if that gets into your heart, you're gonna die. So just go. So that was the call I got from my oncologist in May, right after the scan. Then I called Larry from the taxi I was on to the hospital. Then I called Larry Larry, I can't do a session today because my oncologist called me the scan showed that I had moving blood clots. And then Larry was like, oh, okay, but I don't see them. And then I was like, okay, but I need to go. And she said, yeah, you go and then take whatever they say that you need to take, go. But I don't see them. So I went to the hospital. I got an injection or whatever the treatment that they asked me to take. They had a whole bunch of scans. Ended up being a misdiagnosis.
oh
So
my
I did
God.
not have moving blood clots.
Wow. And how are you in the terms of believing in miracles? Do you believe that this is kind of a miraculous thing, or what are your thoughts about this whole healing process that you've
I
gone
think
through?
so, but working with Larry, this is like a every day. So I don't know if now I consider this as a miracle. It's like in my everyday, but I know why I have what I have now. That is because of Larry. That is very clear to me and to my family. So I really, really, really appreciate um what he does and how he does. And it's just so blessing that I found him.
So thank you for sharing that. Sometimes that's difficult for people, but you did that very eloquently.
Okay, that's good.
Do you have anything for the people that might be listening to this that perhaps are in or could be in the future in a similar situation? What would you tell them about this healing process that you experienced?
Um, there are people who really care about our health like their own. Those people do exist, and Larry is one of them. Um, he cares about my health like his own. And he really thinks about how he can do his best to heal me. Um, so I would absolutely recommend anyone who is facing a challenge or challenges, small one, severe one, be open to receive what he can offer, is what I would say. Again, I had a very severe one. I was facing death, and Larry opened up a different door for me to live again in a completely different way, in a better way. And I cannot thank him enough for that.
It's beautiful. Yeah, I hear the gratitude and I hear the amazing experience that you had. Really appreciate you sharing that.
Of course, of course.
It's not easy. It's a way of sometimes when we experience these things, that's when our mind opens up to think, well, it
Yeah,
happened to me. It's possible, and we
it is
sometimes
possible.
yeah,
Yeah,
we want other people to imagine or act as if or
yeah,
consider the possibility that I think more and more in the future, I think Larry's just way before his time, but I think more and more in the future as we embrace these types of healing these methodologies and these people that help with them, that bring them about. It's just going to be common practice
yeah,
right
I
now.
agree. The first thing is to be open. That's what I would say, because I have, throughout my journey, I met so many people that who are still in a very similar situation, sometimes even worse than my situation. Many times a lot better than my situation. Um, I do talk about what I went through, what I have been going through. Some people are open to listen and receive, some people are not. And then it's not my place to really force people. So only thing is that if you're ready to receive, just be open to receive. Then there are so many different possibilities.
Very true. That's an important part of this to
Yeah.
keep that trust. So, again, thank you so much. And maybe we'll hear more from you when we hear in the future that you have continued to be free of any
Yes.
dis-ease and that you
Yes.
are happily moving along your path and,
Yes.
yeah,
Thank you
having a
for having
wonderful
me.
life. So, thank you
Thank
so much.
you. Thank you.